Hello, all of you wonderful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Agents of Reflection Scar, Episode 14, Revelations. Also, we apparently lost Conrad. I'll figure out what's going on with him. But either way, this is one of our Digimon tabletop RPG campaigns being run with our custom Scar system, or stories and creatures in alternate realities. This system is available for open playtest on our Discord as well as itch.io, so go take a look at it and let us know what you think. For now, though, we shall begin introductions, beginning with the cutest panda, Matiorasu.
What's poppin', my peppermint pansies? I'm Matiorasu. I'm a cute red panda who does streams over here on Twitch, and also is a longtime storyteller, and is very grateful to be doing this campaign, Agents of Reflection, with my good friends Cashel and the other ones.
And the rest.
Thank you for having me.
Sure thing! I am Razib, and I am playing as Cashel, the Shadow Metal type Kudamon. Leader of the party. Sitting down to have a talk with, Castillo. Things might be changing. Off to David.
Hello, I am Merl, and I am playing David, the basic type Galmon, who is currently still in a bit of pain and is laid up in the hospital. Off to the Hyro.
Hello, I'm Ren, playing Hyro the Renamon, light and shadow type. And right now, he's gonna get some food for King. Yay. On to you, Sammy.
Hi, I'm... Oh, I forgot my notes.
Seriously? You really...
I blank, okay? I'm sorry.
You don't know your own name or who your character is.
There Red goes.
Hi, my name is Gabby, or Gib Gab, and I'll be playing Sammy, the Windfire type Digimon. On to you, Wyatt.
Hello, I am Azure, and I will be playing Wyatt, the electric metal type Pulsemon, who is currently standing guard in front of his brother's detainment room, so no one messes with him.
Also, I believe Mario forgot something important.
He did.
No, I didn't. I said I was the cute red panda.
Okay. The cutest?
I'll give you the cutest. Although people like Blue Zest literally exist.
Nah, I'm still good with cutest.
Okay,
Well, you're biased.
I mean, I've known Zest longer than I have Maddie.
This is true.
Also, I discovered that apparently I had it turned off, so there will be a Conrad here doing 3D art here in just a moment. You'll see him after the beginning art scroll. But let's go ahead and move to the recap. I'm pretty sure I made Wyatt do it last time. So we'll let the one that forgot their notes do it.
Okay. Ren hasn't done that in a while.
Actually, I think Ren did it last time. I did it the time before.
Yep, that's the way it was.
We don't need facts in here. Last time, Cashel requested a medical team and an evac for the agents. The Datumon and Edgar through Jacob overcomes. For the agents, the Datumon and Edgar through Jacob overcomes. That's weird. Jacob reported back that the agents were going to be responsible for personally vexating everyone at the facility, and that HQ had ordered the death of the Datumon. Cashel gave the agents the orders to vexate everyone, but didn't tell them about the kill order, having intended to take care of it himself. As Sammy, Hyra, and Wyatt got to knocking out and vexating everyone in the facility, David stayed put with his injuries along with Edgar. Cashel, under the pretense of locking up the Datumon to leave at the facility, took them to a cell in the underground of the outpost. Cashel apologized to the Datumon, explaining that while he didn't want to execute the Digimon, he had a hard enough battle to come with Edgar. Datumon told Cashel off for hiding behind Mirapul's orders and not taking responsibility, for it wasn't Mirapul that was killing them, it was Cashel. He claimed that everyone had a choice, and he wouldn't even blame Cashel for killing him on Mirapul's behalf. He simply requested Cashel not act like his hands were tied. Cashel and Datumon continued speaking of consequences, responsibility, and choices. Cashel learned that the rogue agents formed a group to escape Mirapul, but had since gone their separate ways. He also learned that Datumon was trying to find and get to Mirapul to either make them hurt as much as they had hurt him, recounting the terrible choices Digimon got at Mirapul, or to make Mirapul see what it did. He still had a choice to make. Cashel explained that he had no love for how things were at Mirapul, and that he thought things needed to change. After thinking on it, he produced a prototype rift opening device, which opened a stable, bright green rift with none of the wind the other rifts had. Datumon promised he would do his best to make sure Cashel did not regret his decision. Cashel simply unlocked the cell door and let the Digimon go through the rift, then powered down the device and got Digicore shards from the lab and planted them in the cell and fired a bullet into it. He then returned to the group. Then, after a long night of vexating everyone on the compound and anyone who witnessed vexation, the agents hear the approach of Crane Service. The agents boarded and were quickly offered the usual snacks and even warm vegetable stew. Crane took a look at Edgar's blue Digicore fragment encrusted arm and almost looked relieved. She reassured Edgar that he would actually be okay, but never said actually what it was in the first place. Once the agents returned to Mirapul, Sammy was taken to be de-haunted again, losing his laser pointer that time. The tragedy, the travesty, how dare they. The guards took Edgar into custody, reluctantly handcuffed him, and took him to the holding, accompanied by Wyatt, who was protectively watching over his brother. David and Hyra went to the infirmary to have their wounds dealt with, and Cashel went to make his report to Ramon. Upon having arrived at the lockup, Wyatt explained that Ed was being detained until he could be diagnosed. The Gatomon receptionist was preparing to use the stabilizer on Edgar, but Wyatt explained that despite the Digicores on his arm, Ed was still human and the stabilizer would only hurt him. The guard confirmed that they didn't believe there was any threat of Edgar being a Digimon. Edgar was brought to cell number 135, and the brothers were told that Ed's food and entertainment were Wyatt's responsibility while Edgar was being detained. Edgar would also enjoy amenities due to being a detainee rather than a prisoner.
One moment.
He was then
Alright, carry on.
He was then locked up and had his handcuffs removed. Wyatt remained at Edgar's room in an attempt to make sure Raban, or anyone Raban sent, didn't get to Ed without him and his team also being there. Cashel went to Raban's office to make his report, though he told her that he took the captive to the guard outpost and took care of him. Raban didn't accept those words and very intensely attempted to get Cashel to tell her that he killed the captive, but Cashel didn't, having played it off as being uncomfortable with having killed. Raban eventually relented. Cashel also asked for answers about the individuals opposing Mirapul and their claims that Mirapul had committed atrocities. The two get into a small argument where Cashel expressed a desire to settle things peacefully between Digimon and humans, and asked about the individuals that defected from Mirapul, and claimed that the agency committed atrocities. Raban explained that the 6 defectors, 7 if you count Jacob, were traitors against Mirapul for wanting to leave unvexated and use the information they gained anywhere other than the agency, very much trying to make them out to be evil, selfish people. Raban tried to impress upon Cashel that the simplest way to make sure no one learns of Digimon was to silence anyone who could speak of them, including innocent Digimon like Ido. That she took no pleasure in it, but it had to be done. Moving on, Cashel asked if Castillo was a prisoner, and Raban answered that Mirapul couldn't contain Valine if they tried. If Castillo wanted to leave, no one could stop him. Cashel then asked for official permission to develop technology to facilitate peaceful resolution between humans and Digimon. Raban tried to dissuade Cashel, stating that it was impractical, but he persisted, citing cases like Ido, who saved the agents and the positive relations could prevent Digimon from crossing over in the first place. She stated her doubts that Digimon weren't intelligent enough or capable of allying themselves like that. Cashel told Raban about Lucia having saved Valen's life. He also argued that Mirapul's methods had created their enemies in the first place. But she disagreed, stating that there wouldn't be any vengeful Digimon if there weren't Digimon in the first place. Raban ended the conversation by saying that she had work to do and given the agents a week off. Cashel should have shot her, but he then just asked what was to become of Edgar, adding that since he is Wyatt's brother, treating Edgar well would ensure Wyatt continued to be a good agent. Also, that was my addition, not the recap. Raban explained that Edgar would be monitored and that once his condition was treated, if he had any aptitude or useful skill, Mirapul would try to recruit him. And if Edgar was determined to not have aptitude or skills useful to Mirapool, he would be vaccinated and sent home to his family. There's a smiley face in here. That's really cute. After his dehaunting, Sammy met up with David and Hyra in the infirmary. Sammy asked about how they feel about things at Mirapool. David explained that when he was a cop, he sometimes had to do distasteful things under orders, and that he was used to it, but it did wear at him, which is what led him to become a PI. He also explained that Mirapool reached out to recruit him, and tired of watching spouses cheat on each other, he accepted. Sammy started getting into a tangent about how Digimon existed before digital devices and such, before getting pulled back on track. Sammy explained how the treatment of Digimon expected of the agents had left him feeling a little lost. Hyra expressed his suspicions about Mirapool and its methods as well. David then suggested that since Cashel wasn't likely to give up before getting to the bottom of everything, they should get whatever information Cashel provided and follow his lead. Sammy then expressed that he didn't know how to feel about Digimon due to cases like Ido being nice and Piedmon being malicious. Sammy, Hyra, and David spent some time discussing the morality of Digimon, and realized when faced with the dilemma of actually killing a Digimon, they were going to have to make their own individual choices. And Sammy eventually asked them how they slept at night. Sammy had never seen a dead body before the first mission of the bunker, and had his own morality shoved in his face with the dozens of dead the agents had seen in a single week in the fight with Datsumon, who was far more powerful than they were. Sammy was asking how they coped with the looming threat of death each mission. David explained that they had to believe, because if they went into a situation thinking that it might be the end, it would become self-fulfilling. David then asked Sammy what drove him, and Sammy retrieved this notebook, filled with calculations and scrawl about the massive storm the agents experienced in the mission. Sammy explained that he really liked storms, and that storms were way less scary to him than Digimon. David told Sammy to put himself in the storm mentally and scary situations to calm him down, which Sammy seemed to take to heart. Inuk visited Sammy in the infirmary, and once the agents were released, minus Hyro who was in worse shape, Sammy returned to his room with Inuk for cuddles and questions. Hyro returned to his room to find that King had snuck out of holding and was hiding in Hyro's room because Hyro was one of the few who were genuinely kind to him. Hyro, not having the heart to send him back to get destabilized, let King stay in his room, and even sleep on Hyro's bed with Hyro. Oh my. Thankfully, the Digimon didn't understand the connotations of sharing a bed, though Hyro was embarrassed for suggesting it. Before Hyro went to bed, he went off to retrieve food for the starving Battle Gamamon. Cashel slipped pieces of paper on the team's stores of coordinates and his name before going to visit Castillo, convincing the guards that it was under Raban's order. Cashel found Valen humming a melody to himself and let him finish before they spoke. He asked Valen what he was. He told Valen that Raban had told him about being imprisoned by choice. Valen verified Raban's claim, but didn't answer the question. Cashel offered Valen a vacation, authorized by Valen himself, to a cabin Cashel had in the middle of nowhere. Valen appreciated Cashel's kindness, but refused due to not wanting to betray the agreement he made with Mirapil and Raban. Cashel asked Valen to at least answer his original question. Valen agreed to answer as long as Cashel promised to take it at face value. Cashel agreed, and Valen answered. Valen is nobody. He is not a face, not a faction, not an ideal. Valen exists in this space solely to give powers to those who need it to uphold the balance in this world. Who Valen is of no greater concern to Cashel, to Raban, or the executives, or the board of directors, or anyone else. And what Valen is exists solely between Valen and the one who made Valen. Cashel asked if Valen wanted peace between humans and Digimon. Valen responded that he did, and truly hated the fact that Mirapol had to go to such drastic lengths to keep the world separate. Cashel explained that he had Raban's permission to pursue other means of peacefully interacting with Digimon. Cashel stated that he was aware of how Mirapol was treating Digimon up to this point, but Valen cut him off, asking what Cashel meant by that. Cashel asked if Valen knew about the stabilizers, and showed Valen the one he took from Datsumon and explained what it did. Valen was in disbelief, for the first designs of such devices were brought to him 150 years prior, and he had ordered them all destroyed. And yet, Cashel held one in his hands. Cashel had thought Valen knew more about Mirapol, but it seemed he did not know enough. Valen lowered himself to the floor, and Cashel did the same. Valen spoke. Cashel, I want you to tell me everything. And that is where we left off.
So, hate to leave you guys on cliffhangers for a little while longer, but needless to say, the conversation Cashel is about to have with Valen is very consequential and is going to wind up interrupting what everyone else is doing. So if you guys don't mind, I'd like to handle interactions with Hyro and Wyatt first.
I am A-okay with that because I know that it is going to torture the chat.
If we don't get to it today, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it, right?
There's always Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so fuck you, Maddie. Jesus.
Dang, Mala.
Calm down, Miras. Okay. So, Wyatt, describe to me what a day in the life of Wyatt looks like right now.
A day or the current happenings?
Well, yeah. What's going on right now? What you doing?
I think Wyatt is like standing in front of, or sitting even on the ground in front of the door or to the side of the door to Edgar's detainment cell, and is like thinking over things and trying to, put together his thoughts. And then he I guess he'll go to the Gatomon or whoever's at the reception, and I guess try to like get permission to enter Edgar's room if he needs it.
Gatamon will look up at you, her ears flicking as she says, "You may enter his cell, but only while accompanied by a guard."
Hmm. Hmm. Very well. Wyatt doesn't look pleased about the guard, but he'll do what he has to. So,
All right.
yeah.
Just then, a faint electronic chime, or tone will chime throughout the room as the door behind you opens. It is none other than one Nisaraban, flanked on one side by two members of a medical staff, and on the other by two armed guards. Nissa will regard you with a smile and say,
Celestia?
sorry, yes, Celestia. Apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Celestia will regard you with a smile and say, "Oh, Wyatt, just the person I was hoping to see. Could you take me to this detainee of yours?"
Very well. He's not been here that long, so go easy on him. And Wyatt will, well, internally, like, not too impressed with this situation, just lead Raban to Edgar's cell.
All right. Celestia will make quick work of ensuring that everyone who is with her is allowed to get inside as well, giving them all very temporary clearance passes, and one to Wyatt as well, knowing already that he's going to want to be in there.
Yes. Very much so.
And as these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people stumble into this room that is spacious compared to the other cells, but definitely not made for 6 people to be standing in, Celestia will kneel beside the bed on which Edgar is currently laying. "Darling, if you can hear me and have the will to speak, we wanted to ask a few questions about your condition." Edgar stays quiet for a long moment, his eyes flicking over to Wyatt as if awaiting permission or some suggestion.
Give a nod, but like a little hesitantly.
Edgar nods and says, what do you want to know?" With that, Raban will gesture to the medical staff, who work their way around to the other side of the bed and start doing the basic checkup, pulse, heart monitor, these kind of things. Little cuff around the arm, his good arm, that is. As she says, "Now, we understand that you have had an encounter with the other world. I'm sure you know what we are talking about, if that's true." "Yes, ma'am." "So, what we want to know is how you wound up in this other world in the first place, and approximately how long you were gone." Edgar will respond to the best of his knowledge, using his little Fitbit, his fitness watch, as evidence of how long he presumes he was gone, especially when
44
cross reference.
months.
Sorry?
44 months.
That's right. And I'm assuming Wyatt's going to corroborate that story.
Yeah, but that it was 8 months in the real world time.
Oh, darling. I don't ask you any of this for my own curiosity. I know it must be hard for you to relive all this, but as long as you're willing to speak, we may yet stop others from experiencing what you went through.
It takes all of Wyatt's willpower not to give a suspicious, weird look. Maybe it flashes on his face for a moment to Raban, but otherwise he tries not to react too much.
So,
Oh, there's some hope for him yet.
So if you can be strong for just a little while longer, we have a few more questions. Edgar, seeming encouraged by the suggestion that what he's about to do is strong somehow, he nods and says, "Go ahead. But you're gonna need to ask Wyatt about how I wound up there. I don't know what it looked like in the real world. I was gone in an instant." And Raban will look to you, Wyatt.
He was pulled through a rift. It opened up right next to us, and he was just gone.
I see. You know what a Digicore looks like, do you not?
Yes, I do.
Did you know of one's presence in the vicinity?
I don't believe so, but it's been 8 months, so...
Of course. I don't expect you to flawlessly remember every detail. I'm just probing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit strange. Normally, and most often, dormant digicores are the reason that these rifts open, especially so spontaneously. Did you happen to meet any odd-looking strangers before this moment?
Not really?
Hmm.
Now that I remember.
Troubling. Well, our scientists do not believe that a rift can be truly spontaneous. With your blessing, Mirapool would seek access to the property and begin our investigation to the cause of this particular rift. She says, again looking at Wyatt.
Wyatt has to think about this, because I don't know if he wants Mirapole poking around his home, probably, but having information on why this happened and stuff might be useful, and Mirapole would know. So I guess as long as you don't tear the place apart.
I wouldn't dream of it, darling. What does your family believe your current whereabouts are? If I may.
Oh, we have no immediate relatives, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh. Understood, she says with a nod. Now, just one more thing. An update on your... She pauses before saying that word, looking at the guards, and then saying, your friend's condition. Let's say... how do I put this? His condition is not going to get worse. Not so long as he stays in the real world. In our world. However, treatments for his current condition are experimental, to say the least. It may be worth doing some x-rays to ensure that the structures have not taken root in his body and aren't blocking any necessary arteries or anything of that nature. But, provided they aren't, and they're only flesh deep, then they should be absolutely fine and able to continue life once we figure out how to get rid of them. Edgar seems excited at the prospect of going home after so long. But how is Wyatt responding?
I mean, I think he's just like thinking about all this, trying to take it in and what it means going forward. Because, like, sending Edgar home would not be great. But he doesn't say anything. He just looks probably slightly concerned, but he probably looks like that often with Edgar, considering he's a bit protective right now.
Without waiting for you to say anything else, Raban will say, "Wonderful. Now then, I'm going to leave the medical personnel here with you two. If that's all right. We do need to assess just how deep these digicore fragments go."
Okay. It's fine by me, but he's really the one you have to ask.
She puts on a bit of a different face as she once more kneels down to Edgar's side and says, "Darling, you've been very brave. Now, I hope that you can hold that courage for a bit longer. Examining your condition is key to ensuring that we can deal with this situation if it arises in others. Do you think you could do that for us?" Edgar, swayed by the honeyed words, nods and says, "I'll do whatever you think will help." Celestia nods, ruffles the hair on his head, and says, "Good lad." She then turns back to Wyatt, standing up to say, "Very well then. Let us let the doctors do their job. And you, get some rest. I don't know if you've received word yet, but you're going to be off for a week."
Okay.
Enjoy your time off, and I deign to ask you to return to duty so soon. Surely you have more reason to stick around base than the others. If your party affords you this opportunity, I see no issue with you taking it. Understood?
Hmm.
Good lad. Well, I'll be off then. Goodbye.
Bye.
And she'll take the guards with her.
Wyatt's making faces. Like, uncomfortable, suspicious faces. He did not like how she treated Edgar.
With absolute kindness and encouragement.
Oh, it felt so fake. It felt super like what she would do to anyone in this situation because it's the best way to get people to talk.
Oh God, Key, that's... Oh no.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no. Key.
Let's see it.
Send it off.
What
I
has
will-
he done?
I will do it for a game-breaking card.
Alright, refunding that one. It'll be a game-breaking key. If you want that done.
Just because it mucks with some plans that have been in the works for a while. Sorry about
no.
that, Key.
Oh no.
Okay. Speaking of... Whoops. Okay, I guess I just kind of gave it away. Hey, Hyro. You've gone to get food, right?
Red? Uh-oh.
Oh, yep, sorry. Yes, I was just getting food, that's all.
All right. Do you have a particular taste, or are you just going to grab something?
Just grabbing like meats here and there, getting some chicken, some beef. Maybe add lettuce or two. That actually sounds really good, to be honest. And just start heading back.
Feel the backhand of justice!
This coming from you, Ren? Who is happy with just plain white rice?
Yes!
Don't
Red.
teach my hamster to suck eggs!
Look, I eat meat with rice. Not just rice by itself.
That is not what you were saying last night.
That's what I meant!
Anyways.
To be fair, he was drunk.
Rin doesn't say what he means all the time, sober or drunk.
New influence.
New influence. Okay. To avoid the confusion we faced last time, I assume the G word means a rift.
Yes.
Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, I had no problem with that. I honestly wouldn't even have made it a moderate, but thank you for that redeem, Frosty. Let's see. Okay, so you've gone to get a bunch of meat
Yes.
and some veggies, maybe.
Yes.
All right. Well,
And it turns out King is a vegetarian.
but the greater question is, are you fucking scared of him?
I wouldn't say scared, but more like...
No, no one was gonna get that reference, anyways.
Does Maddie know?
Anyways, Shin seems happy to see you again, and he quickly hurries over and says, "Ah, my friend, hope you're doing well. Tell me, where have you all been for so long? I haven't seen you at the cafeteria in a while.
We just had a very fun mission per se, and we just got back recently from that mission. It was successful. Everybody's back safely. But yeah, it took a lot out of us.
Well, most understood. But you know, there is no way to get over a difficult mission without a very hearty and healthy meal.
Of
Thank
course.
you for choosing to use the cafeteria.
Of course. As I
How did-
oh,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
so do I already have the meat with me, or do I ask her first to get the meat?
Oh, it's available to you.
Okay.
You can just grab it.
Yeah. So I started to grab the meat as we keep talking.
He'll say, so, if I may be a little nosy, how did your date go?
Hiro tilts his head.
Look.
Date?
I have no space for any more.
Jesus. Your date with, David. Burl.
Oh, right. Let's just say we're not compatible with each other.
Understood. In that moment, as you're reaching for some other food item, your arm accidentally nudges a shelf and knocks down. I don't know what the bar is actually called, but one of those bars that keeps getting referenced in Scar onto your
Wonder
tray.
meal.
Wonder Meal, yes.
Oh, this looks pretty good.
Thank you for that, Redeem. I didn't actually catch the name. Shadow. Shadow Wolf.
That was a different redeem.
Oh,
Oops.
no.
Yeah, this is Shadow Wolf redeemed Curse of Junk, so you just throw a random item at us.
Well, yeah, that's what I did. That's what the Wonder Meal was.
We just have a different card for Wander Meal.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. In that case,
I mean, it is still junk.
Still
So junk.
instead from that top shelf, one of those really dry Nature Valley granola bars drops down with an audible thunk, and you can hear it crack within the package.
and it's just dust in the package now. Just crumbs.
Hiro just looks at like, I'll take that as well. Not entirely happy about it, but he'll take it.
I mean, that's more tasty, about the same dryness, and more nutritionally valuable than Wonder Meal.
Everything is more nutritionally valuable than Wonder Meal. It is the nothing bar.
I'm sorry to hear it, but I do hope you get feeling better soon, and I hope that you will be well and happy and healthy in the coming days.
Of course. And I'll be back to hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully. Because knowing
Yes.
how this company works, it's like, oh, we might get another mission again.
If my team leader doesn't kill me.
Please do come and speak to me if you're still around tomorrow. It gets awfully lonely working in the kitchen.
Oh, okay. I'll
And
see
with
what I
that,
can do. As Hiro
I'll give
waves
you a-
goodbye as he starts walking back to his room.
I'll give you a broad smile and then get back to work. As you return to your room, how do you approach opening the door?
Well, first, is the letter outside or like between the doors or inside the door?
It was slid under the door.
Under the door, okay. So Hyro just opens the door normally, so there's no suspicious going around if anybody's looking.
From inside, and as you're reaching down for the note, you hear a very pissed off King say, "Dude, I've hit print like 30 times."
What's going on here?
Oh no! Oh no! There's art.
Thank you, Raijin, for this.
Sorry, Zim. I thought we'd get in the room a lot faster, so I queued
Yeah.
you very early.
I wasn't going to say anything until then, and yeah.
Sorry.
Hyro immediately closes the door behind him, like, and look at King like, what's going on?
He looks back at you from a small laptop he's found somewhere and says, I'm trying to get this page to print, but I've hit print like a bunch and it's not coming out," he says, lifting the laptop up to look under it.
What are you trying to print in the first place? And where
trying
did
to
you get the laptop?
Oh, it was in another agent's room. Anyways, he gestures at the screen towards a map of the world and he says, "I'm trying to print one of these."
And why do you need to print one of these?
Well, if I'm gonna be stuck in here all day, I gotta learn something at least. I don't know anything about this place.
Hyro just gives an exasperated sigh. Well, we'll worry about that later. You said you were hungry, right?
Yeah, starving.
Hyro will bring the tray to him. Opens the lid to the whatchamacallit?
Oh no! Like
Like
the
you know
food.
the plastic tray you just open?
Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of things. And got 2 plates. Plastic plates, I should say.
King accepts whatever you portion out to him gratefully, as the sound of several Windows notifications plays behind him.
Hyro
And then
takes a peek at the laptop.
Hold up. Gap. This is your moment. You've been training for this.
I will end you.
What?
I can't troubleshoot it when the problem is King.
No, I was talking about you trying to learn how to play Windows sounds on your keyboard. Jeez.
No, I didn't say nothing yet.
You look and you see a status window has opened, referring to a printer. Agency
What?
printer 313, third annex, black and white, is printing. It is currently printing the 17th copy of the map.
Hyro immediately
You need to
deletes the rest of it.
Need to return that laptop.
First, Hyro deletes the rest of that, and Hyro is going to somehow, some way.
Hold up. I think that requires a technology roll. It is a computer and printers. Not even
Yeah,
experts can pull this off without trouble.
Give us a roll run.
All right.
No.
Okay, let's see here.
Mine. Oh,
Mine instinct technology. Let's do it.
I guess it's more like intuition.
If we can freaking find it.
Oh.
Be careful of what you use for a expertise there, Ren. If you botch, the expertise can have
Okay, logic,
severe...
logic.
Wait, what? What was he trying to use before?
Instinct.
Which
You
could
know,
also
your
be
basic
favored as
instincts as a
intuition.
living creature.
You did not think that through, did you?
No, I did not. Like, wait, no, you're right. You're right. Hold on, wait. I'm putting logic instead. Logic. Okay, let's see here.
Botch the roll and pull a Patrick Star and just bash the computer against the desk.
No, wait.
Oh wait.
At least with logic, you may just, you know, if you botch, wind up causing it to just shut down instead or something.
Oh my god!
Lamau.
You were granted a reroll.
Oh,
Stick
thank you.
with it. Stick with it. Stick with it.
You stick with it, you get a boost die that you keep until you use it. Like, until
Yeah.
Exactly.
you run out of session ones, and then you have an extra. But also, this might get King found out, and that would be bad.
Yeah, no,
So,
I'm rerolling.
wait.
I'm rerolling. Oh.
I've never seen the chat so invested.
Hey, at least it's not a botch. You just
Good
fail
body.
utterly at it.
You could
Yeah.
body roll 3
You
more.
could.
I'm gonna body roll.
Replace 3 of those nothing dice.
Let me see if I can.
Well, you can use multiple boost dice to, with a, you know, at a time. Each boost die using body boost allows you to do a set of up to 3.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna use all 3.
Yeah, I'm totally expecting that, Mala.
I got 2!
All right, so you it takes you a long while to shift gears into how to work a printer again, but when you finally do, you manage to cut it off after the 18th world map.
Right. After we eat, I'm gonna grab 1 copy of what we printed. I will explain to the person that I actually made multiple copies. And I'm going to put this laptop at Lost and Found, I think.
Ooh.
Please tell me that that printer was Raban's personal printer in her office.
No. I feel like Raban's would have like been labeled in the like names of all the printers because someone's made that mistake before and is making sure it never happens to anyone ever again.
Puts in all caps, Raban's printer, do not use.
Given how last time she was carrying a stack of papers, I'm just inclined to believe her printer never has ink.
No, it's just modded so that she can have a giant thing of ink attached to it so it never runs out.
As you finish talking to him, a tiny rift appears above King's head, dropping a crown onto it.
So cute.
Thank you for that redeem, Shadow Wolf.
Hyro.
No, that was Frosty Bite.
Frosty, sorry, my bad.
Hyro's just gonna look up, look back, look up, eye twitch. and whispering to herself, "What the heck is wrong with my life right now?"
It's so cute.
Anyways, King will sit down in front of his portion of the food and greedily be eating it hand over fist.
After you finish your food, King, can you wash your hands, please?
With a mouthful of food, he looks up at you and he says, "Why?"
Eye twitches.
You realize that would
And
involve him leaving your room, right? I don't think we have private bathrooms.
Remember, your rooms have whatever topography you want them to have.
Oh,
So
was
they
that the case? I
can.
thought it was established. Okay. At least unless we customize it, so...
yeah, I made sure mine had a bathroom. I don't like public bathrooms at all. Or Hyrule doesn't, I should say.
Granted, there are some changes you definitely have to get approved, but a bathroom is not one of them.
Yeah. Because
So, sorry, go ahead.
Hyrule is going to say, because I'd rather have a clean bed, if you don't mind.
He looks up at you, then down at his lap, and wipes his claws off on his lap fur.
Haro is gonna facepalm and just said, just don't go away. Touch my bed right now, please.
Okay.
As Haro takes the laptop, looks around it to see if there's anyone, like any recognition of any names on it or any clue that maybe someone he knows.
The laptop does indeed have a name on it. Or rather, it's got initials. On the lid of the laptop is a giant sticker with the letters JH.
I
Hyrule-
immediately know.
Hyrule turns his head like, who the heck is JH? Alright, I'll be back again. I'm gonna return this laptop to whoever.
Nothing of value was lost. No, not Jacob's Carcerus.
Jacob's last name is Davis.
Alright, well, I'll return this to a lost and found. I'll be back.
Okay, he calls, continuing to eat as you leave.
I want to shut down the laptop first, just in case. It'll take them longer to realize.
Nothing of value was lost.
I'm
Alright.
going towards David.
Towards David, who is in the infirmary.
Yes,
With the laptop or once you've done the laptop?
with the laptop.
Oh.
If you have no idea who this is.
Alright. You find David with many, many, many ice packs. And a neck cone for some reason.
Oh no, not the cone of shame.
Don't teach my hamster to suck eggs.
Oh dear.
Or
What has
she.
the key done now?
Uh-oh.
I feel like it's something along the lines of don't let JH get his laptop back.
What? Who?
I will take your word for it, Keith.
Hold
I have
on.
no idea, Matteo.
I gotta look up what this is. Okay. Okay. I can work with this,
No. Concern.
but how do I incorporate that first word?
Concern mounting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't see. Okay, I'll do my interpretation of that key. Anyways, yeah, you find David with many ice packs in many sensitive areas and a cone around his neck.
David? Why?
Don't ask.
Okay. So I found this laptop somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yes, somewhere. And I'm trying to find out who it belongs to, but it only has this initials as I show it to him. Any idea who?
JH.
Yeah, any idea who might that be?
Haven't the foggiest. Out of character or in character. Because I am completely butts with names. So,
Yeah, no, I figured this would happen.
so you went to the wrong person, Rin.
Okay, table talk. Do we think David's character would know, or sorry, do we think David as a character would know who it was if the player knew? Because
More
if
than
so,
likely, yes.
because if
But
so, you guys are
player
free to
doesn't
hint.
know.
Okay. You want to know who it is?
Who is it?
It's Jiro Hayashi.
I'm saying is, David's a private investigator by trade.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Merl is not. So-
Yeah, so David is. I feel
Yes,
like
a
David
dude.
should know.
It's Jiro's laptop.
Oh no.
The scam artist.
I know. So now I'm thinking how David's going to respond. Personally, Hyro, I would say either keep the laptop or destroy it.
Hyro's eyebrows just rose up.
However, as a law-abiding citizen and a former law enforcement agent, I would say, at the very least, turn it in.
Do scrap metal.
No. If it just so happens to get damaged on the way, I wouldn't shed a tear. But yes, you probably should go ahead and turn that in.
David, tell Hyro whose it is.
Yes. It's the swindler, Jiro Hirashi.
Yeah. Hyro was tapping his finger.
As peak revenge, sell the laptop.
Okay, where would Hyro sell the laptop to?
Jiro. So
Please.
Sell Jiro back his own laptop. Be a Jawa to him.
no, but he'd get so mad. And Hyro would be so
Just,
screwed.
Scrape off the sticker, go sell it to Jiro, and then when Jiro goes to boot it up and realizes, wait, that's my background.
Hyro, can you do me a favor? Roll insight.
Okay.
Because there's an important detail I think the table's missing right now, and I want to give you an opportunity to figure it out.
Let's see here. Insight.
Part where you tell us that we should look inside to find blackmail.
That's such a
Well-
good idea, though.
We'll just see what I'm telling you.
That's right.
All right, looks like you figured it out.
Of course.
Of course, it's
So,
not
Hyro.
genius.
Damn.
Given that King probably didn't know the password to connect this thing to the network, much less to any printer within the network, it's highly likely that this is Jiro Hayashi's work computer. And if it is his work computer, it likely has all manner of details on how to procure items within the organization, as well as any credits Jiro may have had on him.
Hyro is gonna close the laptop.
Keep that. Give it
Make
to.
sure that nobody sees the initials and walk straight back to his room.
Alright, Hyro, have a good one. I'll still be here, suffering.
Give that to Cashel. See what Cashel thinks of it.
Oh no.
Hyro's like just waving at David. I'll be back later to check on you. Still kind of curious about the cone.
I'm not going anywhere. Arr.
Shell is dangerous to ask.
Yeah.
Like.
Why
this
do
is
you
inner
say that?
This is inner Hyro's voice now. Like, I am so gonna give this to Cashel.
Yeah.
You're gonna hand it to Cashel, and the worst part is you're not even gonna get Cashel with a buddy scheme. Cashel's just gonna be like, are there work secrets? Are there marital secrets here? No, I mean, I guess just steal money.
Well, there's also how to get procure things without having to go through Jiro first.
Yep.
Look, if we're giving that much power to Cashel, we're gonna have a fucking secret lab in his room.
Yes. Basically.
I mean, we already had. Cashel has already saved us, saved the group multiple times with the amount of preparation he's made. Meanwhile, Sammy gets a whole bunch of money and buys a fucking laser pointer.
Oh yeah.
And a 10,000 lumen lantern. Let's
Hey,
not forget that.
The
And
pointer was
glitter.
useful. The pointer was useful.
It could have been useful, but you forgot to use it.
No, David used it and then broke it.
I don't remember how David used it.
He used it to poke the buttons for the machine when we were activating the rift closer.
No, that was a different item, not the laser pointer.
No, that was like the long pointer, like pointy stick.
Yeah, the pointy
Yeah, your
stick.
pointy stick.
Which,
Laser pointer.
another reminder, you bought a pointy stick!
But yeah, but I gave it to David and he broke it, and the laser pointer just hadn't come in useful yet. When you need
Yeah,
a
it
laser
did. It
guided
saved
bomb-
you from being haunted for the second time.
Well, you'll see. I'll buy another laser, and when you need a laser guided bomb, then we'll see who's laughing.
All right, whose turn is it now?
That type of laser pointer would be danger close.
All right. Suppose it's time then.
I don't know, I am
Michelle.
incredibly curious about the cone. Also, I am currently trapped by a cat for the moment.
Meow.
Oh,
Um,
gosh.
I decided to stretch out for a couple of minutes, and Cat immediately is trapped me.
See. Well, I suppose there is one other thing we could handle with David before we get to you.
We figure out why the cone.
No, I forgot a card that got redeemed.
Oh.
Hi, David.
Hello.
As you continue to try to get rest and to ease up on the wounded parts of your body, you begin to hear this faint giggling, not unlike the sound the Koroks make in Breath of the Wild. Just every time you get ready to drift off, just another heh heh heh.
David just like, who's there?
There's a bit of a pause, and then another little chortle.
Show yourself.
Just then, a little puffball lowers itself from the edge of your cone right in front of your face. This is what you are looking at. I don't know if I have a high enough voice for this thing.
Oh, no.
Sending it to Zim so I can show it on screen. And then sending it to AR.
Oh, that is so adorable.
I know that Digimon.
Yep, same here.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
It's in the cone with your head.
How did you get here?
Why, isn't it obvious? I'm your new haunt.
Oh, wonderful. I'm haunted. That's just what I needed.
Oh, come on now. It's not so bad. You could have got something real scary. Like that
Oh.
clown.
Oh. My
Sam
friend,
sneezes.
a friend of mine has gotten a clown. He is now petrified to get into an elevator.
Yeah, I know. Most haunts are really mean. But not me, though.
It swings around a little bit on the inside of your cone.
Well, you're a cute little thing.
I thank you. I'm sure people say the same about you.
Not really. They mention my lack of a man bun.
Oh, well, what if I...
The thing slings itself up over the edge of your cone and lands on your head before settling down to take the appearance of a little blue man bun.
Oh my God.
Oh, oh no! If I could see myself, right now, I don't have a mirror. But I imagine it's very cute.
Then it'll roll forward, striking the edge of the cone, and then roll backwards down the cone, settling on your neck.
Anyways, where are we?
We're in We're in an infirmary because I got hurt really, really bad in my last mission.
Mission? Oh, you must be an agent.
Yes. Relatively new.
Ha 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 ha. Detective Wanyamon strikes again.
Keep it up, my friend. You will make a first grade detective out of you yet.
So, what's my reward?
I don't have anything on me right now, so for the moment, you get a head pat. Pat, 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 pat. And when I get out of here, I'll get you a treat.
Okay. Anyways, I gotta go. Someone's coming.
Okay. Until next time.
Little Wanyamon will wrap its tail around your neck gently and then disappear.
Now David is debating about whether or not he's going to tell anybody that he's being haunted.
It's the cutest hunt.
Yeah, that's so adorable. Aw.
Thank you for that. Oh, sorry, Jesus. Thank you for that haunt. Who sent that? Key. Thank you.
That's so adorable.
That is too cute.
It was very precious.
I'm not sure if that's what you intended, Key, but the exact instruction was David gets haunted by a Schrodinger's Wanyamon. I didn't know what to do with that.
That was
The
freaking,
what?
that was freaking adorable.
It may or may not exist until directly observed.
Oh, fuck, I shouldn't have made it reveal itself then.
Like the
Damn
cat
it.
in the box, Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I
It's
know,
in-
but
All states simultaneously until observed.
It's perfect. David sometimes can see it and sometimes can't.
okay, fair.
Sometimes it is.
The
Sometimes
question is it always there?
Yeah, no, it'd be funny if he got tested for being haunted, and they're like, "You're not haunted."
What are you talking about?
No one will believe David that he has a good haunt.
There's no such thing as a good haunt.
And just then, to fulfill the prophecy given to you by the Wanyamon, two nurses will appear from around the corner, wheeling by a very beaten up looking Jiro Hayashi.
Ah, the swindler.
Does David say that out loud?
Yes.
Jiro grunts and uses every bit of strength he has left in his body to raise his hand with a middle finger extended.
Yeah. Up yours, buddy.
Here's versus an important question. Is this King's doing or is this Ramon's doing?
Yeah,
Which one seems more likely?
I don't know.
Both.
Rabon.
It'd be funny if it was both.
Rabon.
Probably Rabon though.
Actually, no, that's true. It could just be both. Because he got it like Rabon beat him up like before we left. So he went to the hospital, recovered, came back, and then he whooped him.
That would
makes
be
me
really.
twice.
As
To be
far
fair,
as
if I'm-
David's concerned, he got what's coming to him.
If I make it canon and confirm that King beat the shit out of Jiro, that makes him a danger to mirror pool agents.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
I mean, is it really a danger to Mirapole? I feel like you know. Is there really a difference between beating Jiro up and just like...
Nepotism.
Yep.
If
Yeah.
anything, it's a service to Merl, you know?
No, but
Well-
he'll complain to parent, and then problems will happen.
Not just that. King canonically does not know who Jiro is, so he
Nope.
had no clue that Jiro deserved that. As far as King was concerned, that was just some random agent he would have had to kick the shit out of for that laptop.
In my mind, Jiro just exudes, like, beat him up aura.
Oh, he does. He's big douchebag energy. Anyways, sorry. Are we ready now, Cashel?
Yes.
All right. Castillo sits across from you, legs crossed, looking at you intently as he waits for your response. I'm not going to ask you to remember every detail. I'll say he picks up on whatever you don't say here, but for the storyteller, what are the particular bits you want him to know?
Well, first off, Cashel would start by pointing out that Ido was, the whole situation with Ido where we were ordered to kill instead of try and get him home. And we had issues when we tried to get him home from Raban. Or at least as I remember it. She was not happy with that.
Castillo will close his eyes after hearing that bit and give a gentle nod, urging you to continue speaking.
Cashel does not know that King had the displacer thing used on, or the disruptor used on him. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it displacer.
Did David
anyways.
and Tyro not tell us about that?
No. At least not that I remember.
I don't think we did, or I didn't. Maybe Hyro did.
How did what exactly?
Explain what happened with King at the with the
In the well, we used the disruptor on him.
No, it's destabilizer. There we go.
I don't remember.
Alright, well,
The thing,
Matteo storyteller call. Did they share or not?
Okay. My only hang up is Cashel would not have known what the disruptor did. I'm going to call it disruptor and destabilizer interchangeably, so don't worry about which word you choose to use. He would not have known what that did when he threatened to use it on what's his name? He would have just thought of it as a stun stick and would have had no reason to believe that was going to work on what's his name?
The Digimon.
Yeah, the Datumon.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it makes sense to me that someone told him what that is.
Then he's going to share the state of Digimon that are being held captive and what they are put through with these, destabilizers.
A long and heavy sigh escapes through Castillo's nose as his brow furrows, and you can feel the tension beginning to build in the room. His hands tense up as he clasps them together, but he nods again, urging you to continue.
He will also share that the story that was told to him by the Datumon, obviously prefacing it with this did technically come from an enemy, but
He was formerly not an enemy.
yeah. He'll go into the details on what he was told. He will also say that he was given orders to kill when we had captured him. He will leave out, his decision on that front, but he will simply state that he was told to kill the Datumon.
At this point, the dim blue light that usually illuminates the area around Castillo has begun to dim and change in hue, becoming a brilliant yellow and then a deep, hellish red. He is shaking as he listens to your description of what's going on, and specifically the Datumon story. And the emotion is just building up. He gets angrier and angrier with every passing word. But he keeps nodding you on, waiting to hear more.
Cashel will share the best of his recollection of every word that Raban has said to them.
Especially that argument you just had with her.
Especially that. He will also... I'll just say this part in character. I will admit that I do not know who is a friend and who is an enemy at this point. Raban seems, in my opinion, to want nothing more than the destruction of every Digimon. I know there are those that abandoned and left Mirrorpool who are considered enemies, and yet one of them saved your life. For being an enemy of Mirrorpool, I do not understand why they would go to such lengths as to rewind time so I could keep you alive.
Thank you, Cashel. I've heard quite enough, he says, lowering his arms to his side before seemingly just levitating to his feet. Where is Celestia?
Last I saw her, she was in her office, although I do know that she had interest in Wyatt's brother Edgar.
Thank you. Now please, step away from the door.
Cashel will do so.
Part of me is wondering, was this a mistake? Is this bad? Did we do a bad?
Only time will tell.
Yep.
Or did Cashel do a bad?
So yeah, Castillo's going to grab Cashel by the wrist and gently shepherd him behind Castillo before raising both of his hands above his head, clasping them together, and then bringing them down in front of him. As his hands pass in front of his chest, you see just a brief glimpse of the Digimon form that you saw last time you dealt with Castillo in his own domain. And the giant metal claws that extend from each of his arms strike. Go ahead.
Of course, audio decides to glitch out right then. Carry on.
All right, what did you last catch?
The claws were forming on his arms.
Yes.
All right. The giant metal claws that emerge from each of his arms strike the door just about an inch, and for just a moment, creating sparks in their wake. And as his hands fly down to either of his sides, Castillo is normal again. And then, a positively gigantic rift opens from the center of the door where the claws struck, with a thunderous boom sucking the door in instantly and expelling air in all directions, including towards you and Castillo.
Oh.
And the guards outside.
Cashel's
Oh,
taking on his
dear.
Digimon form just in case.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh no.
The guards on the other side have been blown to the back wall. One of them even knocked out at the sheer force of the explosion. As Castillo, with slow, measured steps, makes his way out of the room. The
Cashel will
guards
follow.
the guards aren't sure whether to try and stop him,
No.
and no one does. As he walks freely out of the chamber.
Rubon was right. They couldn't stop him if they wanted to.
If Cashel notices anybody actually trying to do anything, he is going to give them a curt, for the sake of your own life, stand down.
And with that, Castillo is still surrounded by this pissed off aura with red energy flying around him in giant glowing red orbs like Will-o'-the-Wisp style shit.
Oh my.
He's going to very calmly step onto the elevator and wait for Cashel.
Cashel will go on. Oh, please let the Pinemon decide to show up now.
No, Sammy's not with you.
Where is Sammy
You know-
anyways?
In his room with Enoch.
Settling.
Right.
Damn it. That would have been such a moment to show you
Castillo.
what Castillo's capable of. Oh my
Just-
god.
Oh, you're the stop time, and then Castillo just reaches up.
But no. Rather than operate the elevator like a normal person, Castillo will place his hand over all of the buttons and let one of the orbs roll down his arm and into it. The elevator will crackle with electricity for a second before flying upward at much higher speed than usual.
He'll just instantly slams into the floor.
Maybe that's the part where Sammy's in the elevator.
How's Cashel reacting to this?
Cashel is as
What's up?
stoic as ever.
We will never know his internal thoughts, not while he lives. Especially not while he's dead.
Nobody will know his internal thoughts right now. No.
Does he even?
Castillo's a kind man, though, and he will slow the elevator to a much more gentle stop as it arrives on the second annex. And then, using the same orb of energy, the doors are pulled open much faster than they usually would be, and Castillo steps off, pausing for just a bit to let Cashel follow.
Cashel will continue to follow.
Oh, you're gonna have a label on you if you keep sticking with Castillo. Oh no.
I mean, at this point, I think the label will be "Do not fuck with this guy," and I'm okay with that.
Fair.
So yeah, he'll have a walk through the medical wing first, searching for her there. By the way, you are attracting eyes as you walk, needless to say. In the-
Everyone who is a Digimon form knows who this guy is.
Yep.
And that he
And
should not be here.
not just that, but the very visible aura around him has people hiding behind their desks.
Does David see him for a second?
Yeah, actually.
David is just gonna make a mental note to not mess with him.
Because Shell just like walk behind him a little bit.
Cashel's
Or
floating
float,
behind
rather.
him, yeah.
David will give a nod to Cashel.
Cashel will nod back.
David's just gonna be thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have more company soon.
More like, oh, I guess my recovery time is going to be cut down a little bit.
All right. And upon not finding her in the medical wing, he's going to turn back to towards the prison and say, "You said she intended to accompany Edgar, yes?"
She had an interest in his condition, yes.
He nods and says, "Be prepared to repeat every word you just spoke to me. I do not believe you to be a liar, Cashel. But she needs to understand why this is about to happen."
May I caution against killing her?
Castillo will inhale deeply and say, "What is your interest in that?"
Do not lower yourself to her standards.
He thinks on that for a long moment before continuing to walk. And finally, there she is talking to her security detail. Just at the end of a corridor. And you can now feel the heat coming off of the orb surrounding Castillo as he hurries his pace, almost running by the time he reaches the end of the corridor.
Oh boy.
Are they near the
What's up?
Are they near detainment? Or holding, or
Yes.
whatever it's called?
So does Wyatt see all this now?
Wyatt, you will catch a very brief glimpse of a massive red Digimon flying past your window with
Followed
a
a
speed
moment by
you
a
have never
tiny
seen before.
Cashel.
What has he done? Oh.
Sorry to cut you off, Maddie.
No worries.
So the only person who haven't seen any of this yet is Hyro and Sammy.
Yep. Raban will turn and see Castillo coming. Her eyes widen in just the briefest moment before this ball of energy strikes her, pinning her to the back wall. Castillo, with his forearm pressed to her throat, says, "What is the meaning of this?" in the most demanding tone you've ever heard this man utter.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Raban, who cannot answer because of the forearm in her throat, grasps at Castillo's arm while gesturing for the security personnel.
Again,
Who,
What are they gonna do?
Cashel will look at them and say exactly what I said earlier.
For the sake of your own life.
Stand
Don't.
down.
well, Roll presence
Okay.
or persuasion if you prefer.
I think I got a higher presence.
You do. In fact, you have a reduced difficulty by 2 as well.
Because there's the giant flaming Castillo beside you. Or oh boy.
Cashel might
Wyatt
have made a small mistake.
Wyatt wants to stick around Edgar until the medical staff leaves, because he has questions, but they're probably not getting answered yet anymore. Oh.
Oh God!
Uh-oh. And there's
Like the
the...
storytelling.
I'm gonna soul the one.
Descriptive.
Just...
That'll be a 6.
All right.
Though Cashel will mention, clear his throat a bit to Castillo. She does need her throat to speak.
The guards, terrified by the situation, lower their weapons, which originally had been trained on Castillo. Castillo pauses for a moment, leaving his forearm where it is, but finally lets go, stepping back and letting Raban fall to the floor, clutching at her throat. Gather yourself and speak at once. Raban, still coughing and sputtering, raises a hand, begging for just a moment. As Castillo begins to pace from one side of the corridor to the other, slow, methodical, his eyes never leaving Raban. It's a cadence that you've seen before, Zim. That you've seen before, Cashel. In the way that Betelgamamon stalked Ido. Someone absolutely ready to pounce and attack at any moment.
She poses no actual threat to you.
Not to me, but to my friends. To the agents that I cared for, that I nourished, that I gave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He says, beginning to calm, and the red orbs of energy slowly fade to yellow. She may not be a danger to me, Cashel, but she must be dealt with. You understood that when you chose to expose her misdeeds to me.
I agree.
Now tell her what you told me, and let her refute them if she will.
He will recount everything. And he's got he's got points in lore, so I think he can do it word for word.
How many points in lore?
3.
All right, yeah. He's making a pretty good retelling. Let me see. Am I being descriptive enough, Beerus? Let me know. Raban will watch with bated breath as you say more and more, exposing more of the things that Castillo obviously didn't know. And at some point in your description, her gaze slowly moves towards Castillo, who is doing a better job at tempering his anger, but the orbs floating around him are moving with more speed and much less grace. And soon he loses his patience and simply says, "Speak. Is it true what he says?" Raban looks at you, then at Castillo, and tries to lie.
Oh no!
Oh no!
A 0?
Wow!
Lol.
No, is that a botch?
That's like a botch.
No, there's
no,
an
no.
there's an 8
There's
count.
an 8 in
Oh,
there.
and I thought that was a 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Digital
That's-
justice.
That's a 0. Not a botch, but a failure.
Even RNGesus wants to see her fall.
She manages to mutter, I was only doing what the director said. And Raban steps forward and says, "And do tell, Miss Raban, where..." Sorry, did I say Raban steps forward?
Yes.
Oops. Castillo steps forward and says, "And where are these directors, Madame Raban? I didn't see them on the way here." Well, the inner structure of Mirapool has changed greatly since you've been away.
Wait.
Stop lying to me, Madame Raban. You know there are few things in this world I hate so much as deceit. Tell the truth, and I may yet let you live, as Cashel has begged me to do. Raban's eyes flicker to Cashel, and just a hint of anger comes through before she returns her eyes to Castillo and says,
For the record,
"All right."
Cashel
sorry, go ahead.
is ready to move in between them.
Raban says, Yes, Phelan. All that he has said is absolutely true." "And what else?" "And the board of directors has been disbanded." "How long have you been acting on your own accord, Raban?" 20 years, Castillo. I should have known. There was a region the guards were getting more cagey with me, while the lockdowns were becoming more frequent. Cashel.
Yes.
I shall make this quick for you.
My vengeance, my anger clouds my judgment. But you know of her sins and the immense suffering she has caused. I beseech you, what is a just punishment for a wretch such as she?
That's a decision and a half.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
What would Cashel say?
Boom. Hit shot.
He stole my words.
For now, I would say imprisonment. Dark imprisonment. Put her in your cell.
Deprived of all sense, of all contact with the outside, of connection, I can think of no greater punishment. Is this the punishment you seek, Cashel?
I say that should suffice Until cooler heads can come up with something better.
Very well. He turns
Doors
back to the
go.
guards and says, Isolation Protocol 1515. Your new subject is Celestia Raban. Take her to the cell at once and repair the door. The guards do not hasten to argue with Castillo, instead running over to Celestia and picking her up off the floor. As she passes Castillo, she tries one last time to plead for anything but this punishment, but Castillo will be hearing none of it as she's dragged away, shouting and begging for forgiveness. Wyatt, you get to hear the tail end of this as they pass your room. And then Castillo will turn back to Cashel and say, Now, thank you for bringing these things to my attention. Your honesty is to be commended, even for the unsavory acts that you carried out in her name. I thank you.
I will say, I did not follow through on the order to kill. I told her I did, or at least left it vague enough to be interpretable that way. But I did return the Datomon to the digital world.
So, Fusilado yet lives.
He nods.
Good. I'd never forgive myself if I didn't get to apologize.
Ooh.
Please, be with your team. I need time to think and reorganize and figure out how to run an organization this big on my own.
Not on your own. No one should be running something like this alone. That is where we got Raban from.
Then what do you suggest? Do you know of anyone loyal to our cause? For certain?
I have not been here long enough to know too many well enough. Though what I have seen, Crane, Inuk, and Jacob Davis seem to be of a good sort.
Your suggestions are unsurprising to me. All but one. I understand Jacob Davis has breached his classification once. What makes you recommend him?
I believe that any organization should have part of the someone that disagrees with you at the top. Jacob Davis did attempt to leave, but at the same time, he would provide an alternative point of view that could be invaluable. I would not necessarily say he should be in charge, but at least in an advisory role would be good.
I will investigate these agents at once. Thank you, Cashel,
You
for
will not.
everything.
Absolutely. I have some things to pass along to my team, I believe.
Go. Be with them.
So, guys, I just accidentally caused a coup of the whole organization. We might be unemployed now. Also, vacation time might be canceled.
I leave you alone for less than a day, and you've incited a coup d'etat against the entire organization.
And Cashel gets an hour case for things getting crazy the second he looks away.
And then there's Cashel doing this.
On the flip side, he did a good thing.
There is no doubt
remi-
about that.
Well, an immediately good thing, the long-reaching consequences remain to be seen.
I will grant you that one.
So, are we all ready to...
I think this might be a good time to stop.
No. You're not getting out of this, Hyro.
You know what's coming.
Let's go.
So, having seen the stir around the third annex, especially as surrounds the printer and Castillo's rumored escape, do you give a shit about this printer?
No.
Okay, good. So where are you headed now?
Heading back to my room.
All right. Castillo, where do you think to look for Hyro first?
Cashel, you mean?
Or sorry, yes, Cashel. Sorry, there are so many similar names now.
His room. I cannot think of anywhere else Cashel might look for Hyro at.
So given that you're on the second annex, and Hyro's in the third.
The barracks were the second.
Yes. But he had to
barracks
go...
are the second, that's right. Sorry, what were you saying?
Did he... Oh, so he didn't go down to the printer at all.
I assume he got down there and then noticed there was a bit of a fuss around
Yeah.
a coup.
And I just like, yep, nope, heading back.
So yeah, the barracks are on the second annex. Cashel is currently on the second annex, which means he will probably beat Hyro to his room.
Yep.
Pyro keeps the door locked.
That's assuming that King does not just open it when Cashel knocks.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
So, Cashel, you arrive at Hyro's room. What you doing, buddy?
And Hyro didn't tell him not to answer the door.
Nope.
That's true.
But he did tell him to hide whenever anyone's else is around.
Yes.
There's a bit of a wait, but eventually the door does open. Oh, hey, Hyro, oh, shit.
And what are you doing here? Never mind, I
Wait.
know enough. Tell Hyro I need to speak with him. I will be in the training room.
Tell him yourself, he says, looking behind you at where Hyro now stands.
Hyro is petrified stiff right now.
Honestly, I figured he might turn the corner, see this, and just about face and leave.
Nope,
Oh
he's too
my.
petrified. He's too petrified.
Pyro stiff, eh?
Hyro.
Hi, Cashel.
Gather the rest of the team. We're going to meet in the training room.
Okay. What about David? He's kind of injured.
You know, that's true. We'll meet in David's room. It'll be less distance for someone to travel.
Okay. Before you go, Cashel,
Cashel just raises a brow.
Haro, give this laptop, showcase the laptop. Hey, this is from what's his name? Oh god, I'm getting blank of names.
Hero.
Jiro's laptop, and I have somehow found this somewhere, and well, it has his office information and his cash and his equipment where he gets stuff. So, do you want it?
His
Cashel
sources.
is going to take the laptop and proceed to... You know what? He probably would have seen Wyatt in the holding. He's gonna go to the holding. Hyro, find Sammy and bring them to David's room.
Okay.
You're in so much trouble, Buster.
Haro will just dash off to Sammy's room.
All right, I'm gonna move this along just a little bit more. Once all the pieces are in play and gathered. Hey Hyro, are you bringing your boyfriend to the
No.
to the meeting?
Absolutely not.
No.
If you did, I would be upset with you.
No, I am not. You think Hyro have the guts to even do that? Heck no.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, here we are in the med bay.
So,
Yeah, what's up? I was having a nap.
Raban is now
Oh,
in
shit.
holding.
What?
Who's holding her?
Castillo.
He doesn't look big enough to hold her.
Sammy, it's not literal.
It's she's being
She's
imprisoned.
detained.
So what now then?
Castillo is going to put together a new leadership for the whole of Mirrorpool. Things are going to be changing over the next few days.
I mean, that's a good thing, right?
Yes, and I figured you all should be informed of this. I met with Castillo and informed him of everything that I have seen going on here. Something I was saving you all from was that I was given orders to kill the Datumon.
Did you?
I did not. But I sent them back to the digital world, away from all of you, so that if it were found out, I would be the only one to take the fall.
And we would have plausible deniability.
Sammy tilts his head at that and goes, why did you choose to spare him?
The same reason that Castillo chose to imprison Raban. The way that Mirapool has been being run under her guidance involved torturing Digimon.
Killing
It's
them
been
unnecessarily.
It's been incredibly clear that her goal was to rid and destroy all Digimon.
In this world.
I'm not certain that she would have eventually limited herself to this world.
Fair.
I agree with her mindset. She would want to rid the threat of Digimon from this world forevermore. And to do that, she would eventually take this fight to the other world.
Now that's a losing battle. As far as I'm aware.
Perhaps.
Well, considering they developed the weapons like the disruptors.
Oh. Yeah, fair enough. Ugh. Now we're
So-
wrapped up in this mess too.
So what's going to happen now?
Well, as he said, they're gonna restructure things, I guess.
I mean, yeah, but like to
For
our
us?
team, yeah.
That remains to be seen?
Exactly. We do not know what is going to happen to us. I will do everything I can to ensure that we are kept together and safe.
Ed 2, please.
Of course.
Thank you.
Wow. I mean, I don't know, how much it might be desired, because we're still kind of all new here, but like, I kind of figure if there's gonna be big changes at Mirrorpool, and you were the one who brought this to his attention, maybe he'd want to keep you around. And I'm just saying, if we're all sticking this together, I'm sure we could help.
I am certain he would want to keep me around, but I definitely definitely hope that it is not to lead this place. Not quite my strong suit.
Yeah. I don't think you're like...
Sammy, I'm gonna cut you off there.
What?
You were about
What?
to say something along the lines that you didn't think Cashel was a great leader, weren't you?
No. I was just gonna say that, like, well, you're kind of mean, so I don't think you'd like be that great leader here. Like, Castillo's nicer.
So David has a thought
You
pop
didn't-
into his head.
You did not see him run flaming down a hallway.
That is
What?
true. He did do that.
Wait, he
He
did?
does have an anger. He does have a bit of an angry side.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
I
okay.
did
Ah.
talk
Literally
him
flaming.
out of executing Raban.
Oh,
Yeesh.
wonderful.
Why is
So-
everyone in this place so crazy?
Cashel,
Yes?
what about our other prisoner? The one in lock that's a Digicore locked up right
They are
now.
not in lockup. As he turns
Eh?
to Hyro.
I was starting to sweat a lot.
I told you very clearly, Hyro. that you were not to be fraternizing with the enemy.
Now, Cashel, do you think, first of all,
The
Hyro
Betel
does not have the...
Gammamon is currently in Hyro's room.
I
Congratulations.
feel like that might be a Betel Gammamon action and less of a Hyro action, given that Hyro barely has the guts to, like, you know,
Thank
make
you,
eye
Wyatt.
contact with people.
Thank you, Wyatt! Thank you!
And yet Hyro did not turn him away.
Yeah,
Well,
so
yes,
when's the
but
wedding?
that's because Hyro's Hyro and wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm nice! I'm too nice!
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Hyro, for the same reason that Hyro can't make eye contact with people, he also probably can't say no to people.
Thank you! Thank you!
Why can't you make eye
You know,
contact with people? It's really easy. Just
actually-
look at him in the eye.
Anxiety.
He's gonna stare at Hyro right in the eyes.
His eyes go everywhere except Sammy's.
They
And
go
you're
to a point just above Sammy's eyes where it looks like he's making eye contact, but he's not.
Stare.
Hyro just transformed his Digimon form, so he's taller.
Stare.
Cashel's still in
Wait,
his Digimon form, and I feel like he's probably feeling taller than Hyro still.
Somehow. Considering Hyro probably hunches over a little.
Stare.
I'm still ignoring Sammy.
You know, maybe the Battle Gammamon doesn't have to be an enemy. Maybe we could turn him into an ally and some sort of asset.
I would
As long as-
not be against that. What I am against is Hyro having relations with them.
I'm not having any relations! Why do you keep thinking that? As my voice keeps going higher
Well,
and higher.
Personally, the matters of the heart are the matters of the heart. But I'm not the leader, so whatever. But my points, my thought stands as it is.
He was very mean and he tried to kill her friend.
Not saying that all is forgiven, but
Mhm.
still the
Amends
benefits outweigh the potential risks.
And who's receiving the benefits? It seems like it's just him. Stare.
No, not necessarily. And it may be a long game, but I am of the type to build bridges, not destroy them.
And also having a Digimon to tell us how Digimon act and stuff would make interfacing with them much easier.
Sure,
Like,
but
Hyro
if we
gets-
needed that, I would rather find Ido and bring them in.
Yeah, but
How-
where even is him? I haven't even managed to ask Ed about that yet. If Ed ever actually met him in the other world. Oh, we still need to question Ed about other world stuff.
The choice is ultimately yours, boss. I just figured I'd present the option.
Hyro,
Yes?
for the time being,
Yes, sir?
King may remain in your room.
And Hyro take a deep sigh of relief.
Not in trouble.
Keep him under wraps, and I will talk to Castillo about this.
Thank you.
Since I seem to be unable to keep you from making bad choices, I at least implore that if you engage in coitus, you utilize protection.
What? What? What?
Always a sound precaution, boss.
Wait, what?
Especially since we do not know the effects of human and Digimon relations.
Hyrule arms going to all the place. But no.
This is the perfect. I mean, we are in the infirmary. I'm sure they got some that you can get on the way back.
Hyrule face is so weird, but like trying to like, no, Cashel, you got this all wrong. You got this all wrong.
I thought Hyro was a eunuch.
Comes a voice from within David's cone.
No, that was just a rumor.
Cashel freezes as he hears this strange voice and turns towards David.
Come on out, little guy. Don't be shy.
Little Wanyamon bounces up out of the cone and onto David's chest.
Hiya.
Oh my gosh.
Paw
When did
to
this happen?
face.
When did this happen, David?
David is going to try and swat the gun away. Put that away.
What gun?
Is that your answer to everything?
No, Cashel went paw to face. Paw to face.
Oh, Paul.
He is face pawing.
I thought you said gun to face.
No.
My bad. Rewind. I was like, everybody, meet my haunt.
I don't haunt?
Your
What's so
huh?
bad?
No, not all haunts are bad.
Apparently, I guess.
I mean,
thought-
he looks very cute.
I thought he was your kid.
Sammy,
Uh,
I need you to run that back, and think about that for more than a single second.
Big puppy, little puppy.
First of all,
that's
that
a
is
kitten.
feline in nature.
What's the difference?
Oh my god, Sammy.
Now David is going
Sammy.
to face Paul.
Sammy,
So
I know
does
for a
Hyro.
fact you're too much of a nerd to not know the difference.
Look, I'm a bird that can't
Hi.
fly. He's
So-
a dog that punches, and you have a man bun. What does anything mean?
Key is saying that
Oh, yeah.
Wanyamon digivolves into Gaomon, so that kind of means
Oh,
that
yeah.
it is a dog as well.
Oh, I did not know that. So I guess, yes, it is David's kid.
No,
Though
not
David
really. Not
has
actually.
never actually, you know, but
Well,
interesting.
All I'm saying is, right, David, I'm very proud of you, and if you ever need someone to like caretake, it's fine. I don't know who the other dad or mom might be. I don't know Eileen, but if you ever need help, just let us know.
One
Well, to
moment.
be honest,
I don't think it's that.
Back up just a bit.
Hmm?
The audio had glitched
Oh.
out.
the audio had glitched. So, Sammy, it's not really my kid. He's just
A blue
a
creature.
blue creature.
This little
New
guy.
Digimon?
Yes. I assumably. So
Oh,
you're
nice.
haunting him.
That's right.
Like,
Like being spooky or being friendly?
Mm,
Sammy freezes.
Sammy's the one that's had a bad experience with haunts. the certain clown.
Haro
Oh.
nods.
I understand. Well, compared to that, I think I'm pretty friendly.
So you're like not gonna eat him or something.
I'm more of a haunt the way someone haunts a library, where that guy's like the way a ghost haunts the person who murdered them.
That's honestly a fairly good comparison.
Okay. Sam, do you have a hidden Digimon somewhere as well?
Hmm?
Are you hiding a Digimon too?
No?
Wyatt?
No?
Well, it depends.
Um,
Depends what you call hiding. I mean, as I understand, he does have a certain friend hanging out in his room right now. The Wanyamon said, glaring accusingly at Sammy.
Genuinely innocent head tilt.
Sammy? What do
Oh,
you
Enoch.
what do you have in your room?
Enoch?
Oh. Okay, never mind.
Ah.
Getting a head start on the vacation, were we?
Oh, we were having a really lovely cuddle. We were sleeping. It was really nice. And then I got woken up for all this. I'm still tired. I was planning to sleep
Okay.
this whole week.
At
No
least
elevators.
you two are. Oh my god.
We're what?
Cashel's getting a headache, I can tell.
A migraine.
Yep.
We're what, Cashel?
In the future, if a Digimon appears to you, unless they are making threats such as the clown was to Sammy, please report them to me.
You know,
As
to be
soon as it
fair,
happens.
you were doing other things when this little guy appeared to me. So this is the first time I've seen you since then. So, ta-da!
You have a cell phone.
That is very true.
I am also
Bedridden.
bedridden, and my cell phone is way over there. So, no.
Okay.
Who put your phone here? And he, like, Wyatt's gonna move it over to, like, the bedside table. Or whatever equivalent.
Is
Well, thank
We
you,
will
Wyatt.
be ending very shortly, Shadow Wolf.
Okay.
Okay. Go about your duties. Go about what, or rather your... whatever. We'll reconvene tomorrow. Hyro, grab a handful from that jar over there.
Okay, as Haro does so.
Make sure you
Oh,
use
no.
them.
Oh, no.
Or rather, have him use them since I understand. I won't bring it up again, but I understand.
No! Cashel! You're not listening! We are not together like that! We're not!
Hyro,
Ira, where
have
is
a
he
good
sleeping?
time.
You have only one bed in that room.
Yes.
I did
Well, I
not
think
see
you
a
just
couch.
answered your own question, Cashel.
Hey, Hyro.
Yes.
Sammy's gonna walk up and place a hand on your shoulder, looking up and go, "He's right. You should always use protection."
That's how I will make the groaning noise and just take the
I-
frickin'
I
Dang.
tried, Hyro. I really did.
Thanks for the support. I really appreciate it.
It's just, I mean, Wyatt. It's not that I don't believe him. It's just that, like, he kind of strikes me as gay. And so does King.
I mean, we don't even know how that sort of thing works for Digimon.
You put the thing in the thing.
Yeah, no, but you're making assumptions about how Digimon function.
Okay, dismissed. All of you back to your rooms or wherever. We
Yes,
are
sir, he just-
done.
He just dashes off.
Oh, so basically, just get out of my room right now.
Yes.
Let's going back to holding to go hover until the medical people leave Edgar alone for enough time for him to have a conversation.
Especially if all that happened recently.
Yeah.
Cashel,
We all know where Hyro's going.
Cashel will stop Wyatt momentarily to just be like, if you do decide to question him, please have me there.
I mean, it's not really going to be questioning and more just going to be me asking my brother what happened.
I would still prefer to have as much information as possible.
Valid. I'll message you when the medical personnel leave him alone.
I think that's a good point to stop. Because, Matteo, I know you
Same.
need to get to bed.
Yes, please.
So, thank you
Yeah.
everybody for joining us so far on the stream today. That was Agents of Reflection Scar, as well as an Art Marten stream. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as grabbing packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or by commissioning one of the artists that I manage for, such as Conrad, who is working on a 3D model this evening. Those details are at zgf.art. But for now, thank you so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Go check out Zim's podcast.
Bye.
What was it? Tails, Maws, Beans, and Paws or something?
Osmos, Tails, and Beans.
Yeah, there you go. Every Wednesday.
Yep, at 13:30 p.m. Or 13:30 a.m., sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's a real time. But you go to bed, Matteo. Thank you so much for running. Love ya.
Thank you guys for playing, and thank you for all the hugs. Bye, y'all.
Thank you for running, Maddie.
Thank you for
Thank you,
running.
Maddie.